Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and a lot of packages have been coming to my house recently, so I'm going to be reviewing the one that that piqued my interest in the most recently. So today we have the review of the P-Bandai Exclusive SHF Valvarad. So I hope that's the way how you pronounce it in English, because the only pronunciations I've heard is so far either the Japanese or the Korean version. So oh well, hopefully that works out. Alright, so I would like to mention a few things. So first of all, this guy is not exactly a Kamen Rider. This is not his Kamen Rider form. This is more like a pseudo Rider kind of form. So, and like more like a incomplete, or like a, it's more of a form that could kind of match a Rider, but not exactly a Rider category. So right now, as you can see, even in the box, you can see their SHF figure art. It only mentions his name, Valvarad, so no Kamen Rider term. So yeah, but this guy does later get a Kamen Rider form, and yes, they already taken pre-orders for that as well. And I'm trying to also eventually get that figure as well. So just wanted to point that out. All right, so let's see what we get. So first of all, just to give you reference, this is a character or a character or form that comes out from the Kamen Rider Gotchard series. I am watching it. It's okay. There are some parts that I like, and there are some aspects I don't like. But yeah, I'm just giving it a watch for now. All right, as usual, let's go over our usual component checking as well. So first of all, what you get, of course, from the box is obviously the Rider, or not Rider, I mean the character himself, Valvarad himself. Definitely loving the design here. Something I was not expecting is that this guy actually looks the figure feels way bulkier than you expect. So far I've been reviewing a lot of Kamen Rider figures, and most of them have that slim profile. This one, for some reason, does not really give that slim profile feel as well. Alright, so first of all, there are some components that is meant for this guy, and then there are some components for another figure. So I'm going to go over stuff that you're supposed to get for this guy. So first of all, hand-wise, I gave it the fist hands at the moment, but you do get three more sets of hands. So let me get this out of the way. So first of all, here we get the open hand. So we have the typical open hands that you see in every figure, and then we get the semi-open hands. So these are more like the claw-like, the claw hands as well. So pretty much standard. And instead of getting a multi-purpose hand, we do actually get just typical trigger finger hands. These will be the main hands that you will be using for the weapons, or at least his main weapon, which is what you're supposed to be getting. And this is his main weapon slash henshin gimmick as well, a transformation device. So here we have the valvarusher. So it's a sword blade, but it can also be a gun, but also his main transformation gimmick. So like in the series or DX toys, you can actually open this section up, and then yeah, so what you're supposed to do in the series or the toy, that you would actually get a card called Mad Wheel. You put the card into this part, and then you close it up, and then press the trigger, and you'll be transforming. However, for some reason, yes, this series is also based around card gimmicks like Kamen Rider Ryuki, DK, Blade, and those figures, as far as I know, they actually did give you some cards, very small cards, but you could actually use them or put them in the hands. For some reason, this figure does not give any of those cards. I do not know why, either for cost reduction, but still it's paper, so I really don't know why. But yeah, so it still opens up, but there's nothing to put in. And even though you do get the cards, I don't think there's any space to put it in there as well, because there's supposed to be a slot here, but I don't see that slot. And then this, as you can see, this works as a sword, but also here there's like a barrel here, so this also works as a gun. So in the series, this guy uses it pretty well. Okay, let me get him off the stand. So far this is. So pretty much, other than the hands, this weapon is the main thing. And now, recently, a few years ago, Bandai started to add like other equipments or weapons that are not meant for the character that you're supposed to be getting. They actually added another weapon for Gotchard, Kamen Rider Gotchard. So basically, the main character rider weapon for even the hands. They even added these hands for that figure. So for your reference, I hope, yeah, there we go. On the box here, there's this guy right over here. He is Kamen Rider Gotchard. I'm not sure if you guys can see that properly, but yeah, It's now I'm not sure why they had to add this weapon specifically. Then again, it could be an indication where they're maybe preparing a Gotchard Daybreak, but who knows. But yeah, now you could technically use that for this guy, but you kind of have to squeeze the weapon inside to the into the hands, and considering that you're going to be holding this weapon most of the time, I don't want it to damage or, like, you know, enlarge in the hand, you know, gap. So anyway, let's see what we get. Alright, so first of all, let's go over articulation. So I would like to mention a few other details as well while going through articulation. So most of the time, like SHF Kamen Rider figures, they be pretty clean. There's no battle damage or scars. In this case, you can see all these weathering effects, like these scratches all over the places as well. You can see that this guy has seen, as if this guy has seen some action. But then again, even in the series, I think these are all like you know, specific details that was also in the show. So pretty well done. Now let's look at the head. Definitely loving the head here, like the half and half design here. And you can see this is a spanner wrench or a wrench kind of thing here that you can actually see. So that's pretty cool, and it's actually holding on to a bolt here. So pretty nice design and detail there. And the other eye, so definitely doesn't really give you a Kamen Rider feel, but rather more has that evil villain feel. But keep in mind, this guy's not a villain, so well done. So the head can go up, down that much, and then up a little bit better. Now, one thing regarding these SHF figures, when you open the box, make sure the neck is in the correct position. While I was taking pictures, I've noticed that the neck was all the way to the side, so I had to like move it around a little bit. But now, after a few movements, it's back to where it is. So up, it can go about that much, as long as if the neck is in the right position. Down, also pretty well done. Side to side is pretty much you can go, but not exactly 90 degrees, because it's either the joint is limited or something's blocking the way, but also you have this neck collar here, so yeah, that's also blocking the way, so a little bit limited as well. So despite, like I said, this guy feels a little bit bulky, but also another reason for feeling that is the legs are extremely bulky, and then it also has limited articulation because of this cape thing here, or whatever, this skirt thing, whatever you call it these days. But anyway, let's see the arms. Now the arms, once again, going 360, because thanks to the armor is actually attached to the arm itself rather than to the main body. So, and you can pull out the armor a little bit like that, and then you do have the forward and backward movement as well for the shoulders. Yeah, well done. And then 360 on the arm itself is possible, and then bend wise you get a very nice bend, more than 90 degrees, so well done. And hands are your typical SHF figure hands, where the ball joint is on the arm and the hand has the hole. Alright, and then once again, even the hands, they added details by adding these bolts here, so yeah, pretty well done. Now for the body. Once again, all these weathering details pretty well done. And on the backs, you have this very dark purple color here, and you might have noticed this here. You can actually store, like in the show, you can actually store the weapon or his transformation device into his back. Now, there's not many riders who can do this. There's only one figure that I know that can do this, but once again, the connection point was very unstable. So, yeah. In this case, this is the main connecting point, and I'm not sure what kind of joint this is, but this is like there. There's no way I can take it out. I thought it was on a peg, but apparently no. So, yeah, that thing is staying in there. All right. So, and once again, once it's on the back, it's a very stable connection. So, and then you can also move it. You can also change the angle here, so a little bit of movement here and there, so you have some adjustability as well. So very well done. Now for the main body, you do have a semi-ab crunch here going on here, and then side to side movement is there. 360, you can somehow go 360, but once again, not really recommended because human inside. And sometimes if you go 360, it might mess up the position of these belts or something else here. I've had that situation before. Now, for the main issue of this figure would be the legs. Because of the legs are so limited, there's not much pose you can actually pull this off with. So the legs, you can see, not exactly armor, but more of a cloth thing going on here. So you still have the side swivel going on here. Going to the front, not so much, because there's a lot of stuff blocking here as well. Even for the back, once again, a lot of stuff are blocking here. To the side, once again, this is as far as I can go. I don't want to break anything or force anything, so that's that. And then bend wise, you do get the typical bend here, but once again, you're gonna have to go through a little bit of stuff to make sure you actually get all the bend here. And then feet also can go 360, and then a very nice pivot joint as well with a toe bend. So yeah. So So everything is looking pretty well. However, the only part I would say problematic would be the legs being a little bit too limited. Now I am hoping and assuming that his rider form, he no longer has this specific skirt here. So and then I would assume that his size would also become much more thinner because it becomes more of an armor thing. So hopefully it will free up some more space for a little bit more movement going on here. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the figure. I'll be right back with the demonstration of basically holding the weapon, and we'll end it off there. Okay, I'm back. So finally we have the valvarusher onto his hand. So once again, holding the weapon is no problem as well, despite how long or bulky this weapon looks like. It's not exactly heavy. Once you have it in its hand, there should be no problem holding it. In terms of stability issue, you shouldn't be getting anything any problematic as well, as long as you don't really ruin the hand itself as well, because sometimes when you try to force something inside the hand will actually lose its tight grip a little bit, and that's when the weapons can become a little bit shaky. But in this case, if you have it right out of the box, you should have no issue. And then if you're just holding this weapon, even in the long run, you should have zero issues as well. So yeah, once again, no big deal. Now once again, like I mentioned before, you can attach this weapon to this hand, but once again, because of that large bolt thing, there's supposed to be a there we go, I almost dropped it. They're supposed to have this orange piece thing going on here onto the back of the weapon here, and as you can see, the hand does get in the way a lot, especially with that bolt. Depending on how you angle it, it might actually collide. So it's not exactly an ideal connection, but it does work. But once again, because of the structure of this weapon, you have to jam the weapon into its hand, and the way how you have to do it is not exactly ideal. So once again, but if you want to, you can technically use it if you want to do so. So so you can have like a double sword situation. And that is pretty much it. So for the top and arm section, I have zero issues. It's just the leg that's actually a little bit limited as well. Hence, you have a limited widespread as well. And then because of that, you can't go too much to the front as well or to the side. So doing a rider kick with this figure is not exactly ideal. But then again, I don't think he actually did any rider kicks in the series as well in this format, as far as I know. Anyway, and that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, if you're trying to get this figure, you might want to get it speed up, because there's also a Kamen Rider forum for this guy as well. So once you type in SHF Valvarad, I feel like the Kamen Rider format will come out more onto the search engine depending on where you live. Anyway, thanks for watching the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai Exclusive or P-Bandai Exclusive SHF Valvarad. If you guys got any questions or requests in the comment below, I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out. So please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.